Hey guys, welcome to another Shock Films VFX tutorial. I'm Caleb Shockley, and today, as you can probably already tell, we're going to be going over a Spider-Man effect in After Effects. I am really excited for this because Spider-Man has always been one of my favorite superheroes, and now, I can be Spider-Man. That's really exciting, and I'm excited to teach you guys how to make a Spider-Man web effect. So let's get into how to make this. So as you can see, as you've already seen, this is what the effect looks like. It's not perfect, but it is kind of hard to make a really good looking Spider-Man web kind of look in After Effects. But I did my best, so you can at least give me credit, A+ for effort, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna show you how to make that. It's actually really simple. It's not very hard. Really, actually, all you really need is a camera, the power in yourself to believe that you can shoot webs out of your wrist. No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna need After Effects and Google Images, but you will need a camera. Okay, sorry about that. Let's drag our footage into a new composition. Trying to be funny, and it's not really working out. Okay, so I'm just kind of let this play through. So you really need to kind of let your footage play through, so that way you can scrub through and find your points easy. It's just easier to edit like that. Okay, now I'm gonna find my beginning here. Go from about right there. And a real quick way to trim your footage, I've already gone over this, but just Alt and then the little bracket that's kind of up in the top right hand corner of your keyboard. Alt left bracket, and then I'll cut it. So I'm just doing it right before, a little bit before I reach up and act out the motion of me shooting at a web. Now I'm not actually positive if you were able to tell, but this is a web slingshot. Okay, I don't know if you might not have gotten that, but that's what it was. So jump. Okay, so from here, this is probably, I'm thinking, where I'm gonna start masking myself out, so that I can scale myself so it looks like I'm coming up towards the camera and going over it. So I'm gonna go about 4 or 5 more frames more. About 4. I think that'll be good. And then to trim it, you can go Control-Shift-D, and that'll trim your footage. Just gonna scroll through to where I walk out of frame, off screen, so that way I've got a clean plate. Because you're gonna need a clean plate for the part where you start masking yourself out. So I'm gonna find that frame real quick. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna bring this clean plate underneath, drag it on right there. There you go. You've got your clean plate. You gotta make sure that it's basically lined up. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just about as close as you can get. So now you're going to need to go to Google Images, find a PNG picture of the Amazing Spider-Man where he's got some webs coming out, and then you're going to drag that on. So you can see he's got the webs coming out, and that's what you're going to use to make the webs in the video. So basically you're going to need to pre-compose this, so that way you can jump in here and you can single out these webs. By the way, a quick tip, to get this hand tool, there are 3 things you can do. You can either click on it, press H, or just click the middle part of your mouse and then drag. And I think that's easier because your hand is probably already going to be on your mouse, and then you just just drag it around. Okay, so you're going to need to duplicate this picture here, Control D, because you're going to need a mask for this one and then a separate mask for this. So I'm going to go and mask this one out real quick here. Okay, now we're going to mask this one out. And there you go, you've got your 2 webs. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to drag it up to the middle. Since it's already basically straight, I can just leave that, then take this one, rotate it so that it's straight, or about straight. I can just drag this down on top of there. There you go, you've got your single long web. Now you can jump back into your composition, and there you go. There is your web. Now we're going to do a little bit more with this in the end, to give it a kind of different look. But this is that's basically the web. So you're going to need to scale this up. Okay, now to have, let me go back in this. So as you can see, you've got the point on the hand, and then you've got a point that's way up here, that's off screen, and that is staying put. It's staying in one position. It's not moving at all. Now, at first I tried to see if I could do this with motion tracking, having 1 point on my hand and 1 point over here on this power line, but that failed miserably. It was just really bad. So I then thought of a different solution, which works really well. It's actually pretty easy once you get into it, and that is, you're going to use the puppet tool. You're going to create a point here, and then you're going to go to the other end of this and create another point. And then basically one of these points at all times will be off screen while the other one is on the hand. And then you'll just be going frame by frame, adjusting whichever point is on the hand, to the hand. So I'm gonna go to the frame where the web is first gonna start coming out on this end. I think about there is good. Kind of looks like I'm pointing my middle finger up at the sky, but I'm not. I'm making the Spider-Man hand symbol. Not quite sure what to call it, but yeah. So I'm going to have the skinnier part. Oops, whoops. I just remembered something. automatically, when you create Puppet Tool points, it automatically sets keyframes for them. So whichever frame that you set them, it'll set a keyframe on that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna need to have to go in to the individual puppet pens, which is mesh, deform, and then it'll show these, and just click the stopwatch. So that way it is just, there's no keyframes for it at all. And then you're going to click it again so that the keyframes will start on the frame that you want it to. So now I'm going to find the center point and just drag it off screen. And you can have it at whatever angle you want. I just try to keep it, kind of semi-realistic with how it might have actually come out of the hand. So yeah, and you're gonna probably want to make sure that the web is pretty skinny, because otherwise it just kind of looks, I don't know, it's kind of fakeish. So okay, so now you've got that. Just go frame by frame, adjusting the point. And the good thing about this is it's actually not too hard, because you can go 3 or 4 frames at a time maybe and move it, and sometimes you may not even have to adjust it too much, because like right here my hand just kind of moved down over a matter of like 4 or so frames. I can just move however many frames and then just adjust it, and it'll completely follow the hand, which is really, really nice. So I'm just gonna skip past all this, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm back, and I went in and I set the web to follow that hand, and then I went in and did it for that hand too, just so I could kind of save time. I just went in and did them both. So now I'm gonna just show you kind of what that looks like. As you can see, it starts to get a little bit off kind of towards the end, and especially right, if I can find it, right here, you can see that they're all the way up here, and that's because once you've masked out and kind of scaled it coming up out of the camera, that's also if that's the way you decide to do it. That you don't have to do it exactly like that, but for me, I had to adjust the webs coming up. And if I go here, you can see that there's no shadow for the webs, which you may have to add shadow, but luckily for me, as you can see, you can't even see my hands in my shadow, so it's like I don't even have to add them. But and the thing I want to say is that about using the puppet tool for this, instead of just rotating and scaling and positioning and doing all those different keyframes, this way it actually stretches the web, which is really realistic, because if you have something like a web, something like that, if you pulled it out, it would stretch, which, as you can see, when I'm starting to move backwards, you can see the web kind of stretching and moving, and it just looks really good in my personal opinion. So the web, you may be able to see, looks a little bit different than it does here. Well, now it looks different, but I mean, it looked different because I had this adjustment layer on, but without it, you can see that it looks different. It's kind of more white in this one, and that is because what I decided to do is take these And instead of having the blending mode on a normal blending mode, I set it to screen, and which turned them kind of transparent and white, which kind of I thought looked kind of webby. And then what I did is I duplicated them, put that underneath, and then set the duplication to normal. So that way you're getting the kind of white web part, and then since it's a little bit transparent, you can see it's kind of gray. But to me, I just think that that looks a whole lot better than if you just left it on screen or on normal. But blending them together gives you this much more realistic looking web. And to make them shoot out of my hand, it's a simple right here. I've got a mask that's like right here, and then the next frame is just all the way out, and then just, you know, boom, looks like it's shooting out. So that's pretty simple. And so I'm gonna just actually come in to my composition to show you kind of how I did the part where I fly up towards the screen, because that's not that hard. Let me find where it starts. It's just taking a really long time to load. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, and when you've got your if you do what I did and you've got them masked out and kind of coming towards the screen, you're going to need to create a shadow, which means 3D layer. So I'll actually turn that off. Maybe that'll help. I guess not. Okay. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so here is the layer right there. Is that it? Nope, that's it. This is it. As you can see, I've got the mask, and I've turned on motion blur, so I'm actually turning that off. So there you go. I got the mask following, which is simple mask path to have him follow. And then I set position and scale keyframes. Scale so it become bigger, so it actually looks like it's coming at the camera, and then position him coming off, and that way it looks like he's flying up and over the camera. And then I added an adjustment layer. You don't have to do that, but I decided to. So that is it. That is how you can make a Spider-Man effect where you can shoot some webs out of your arms, slingshot yourself towards the camera, you know, whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's basically the gist. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Go check out my other tutorials. And you know, that's it. Just use this. Help yourself when you're filming. I really hope that this tutorial has helped you, and even the littlest way possible. Even if you only learn that the middle button on the mouse, if you click on it, can help you move around the video. Even if you only learn that, I am excited for you for learning something. So again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'll be posting some more videos, more tutorials in the future. So that is all. This is Caleb Shockley signing out. Keep on filming, everyone.